Bryce, a couple things. First off, you just tell us about your health and when you started feeling like you could play again, and how you got through all that.
Yeah, I was kind of nervous to start playing again, honestly. I always do like Google searches online whenever I get sick with any type of symptoms, whether it be like allergies or anything. And it was like, oh, cancer this. I was like, whoa, hold on, that can't be right. But I read some stuff about like your spleen could rupture if you do a lot of like strenuous activity. So I was kind of nervous about coming back, but the trainer said I was all good to go. So I decided to try to come back. My energy is still pretty low and stuff like that. And I'm still really fatigued and tired a lot. But it's just like grinding through grinding through the practice and games.
Okay, and if you can speak for the offensive line of what you've seen, I know you've only been back a couple games now, but where do you feel like y'all are at as a unit as y'all try to improve?
I think we've progressed. I think there's still a lot of things we need to work on. Camaraderie is a big one. After every game, we've always hung out at each other's houses, just kind of talking, hanging out, just trying to mesh a little bit better as a group. I think that's probably the biggest part we're missing right now. I think we're super, super talented, but I think that we just need to mesh a little bit better. And I think throughout these past 4 weeks, we've slowly gotten a little bit better each week. And so just continue to practice and just continue to improve.
We'll stay on the second row on the right to David and then Brent.
Bryce, you mentioned after the Miami game that it was the toughest game or the hardest. It was on your body. Mm-hmm. How was this one a week after?
It was definitely a little bit better. We were in the AC, so alignment in the AC. I've never complained about that one. But no, I felt good. My body felt a lot better than it did the last week. With a lot of the strenuous activity, just a lot of stabbing pains. It kind of feels like in your stomach with the mono stuff, and I didn't really feel that as much this week. So I'm a lot more in shape than I was last week. I can tell you that practice has been a little bit easier this past week, and it's only going to get easier from here.
We'll stay on the right side, front row to Brent.
Bryce, how do you balance being it's not easy, obviously, but it seems like y'all have more to do than ever. How do you balance being a two-sport guy in college?
It's just having your schedule right. You have to find that time for yourself. I think that's where a lot of guys struggle mentally, is just trying to find that time off where you're not always doing classwork or studying film or doing practice, or in the spring for me doing track and studying my film for track and stuff like that as well. It's really hard to balance. I think I had maybe around 20 days off-ish last year, including like July 4th break, spring break, all that kind of stuff. It's definitely a grind, but I think I can handle it. If I had any questions and stuff like that, I always talk to Devon, just ask him, just to give me some advice on like what I could do to kind of help myself.
What's the best advice he gave you?
Just stay true to yourself. I'm a good enough athlete to balance the two. I'm smart enough to balance the two. So just kind of stay true to myself.
And a couple of years ago, what was it about Texas A&M that you picked out of Katy Taylor High? Besides it not being pretty close to home.
Yeah, it was definitely close to home. But I remember, I think it was my freshman year or sometime before. No, it was whenever I came for one of my brother's games when he played here as a walk-on. I remember driving up and walking through Bright, getting our tickets at Wilco and stuff like that. And I was looking at the weight room, the indoor facility, and just all the crowd atmosphere. And I was like, I think I can see myself playing here one day. And I remember that as I was leaving Bright, I was looking at Kyle Field and just seeing how big and beautiful it was. And I was like, yeah, I think I'm going to play here one day.
We'll go to the left side, front row to Zach, and then Cease.
Bryce, you mentioned Devon. How much pride does an offensive line take in being able to open up the game like he had against Arkansas? And do you feel like that's kind of opening up the floodgates, so to speak, for the run game?
Yeah, definitely. I think it boosted our confidence a lot. Last week at practice, Coach Fisher told us he was going to make an emphasis on the run game, and he told us that we're going to run the ball against Arkansas, even though they were one of the best run defenses in the nation. I think they were the best in the SEC. And he said he has confidence in us, so I think we really took that to heart. And knowing our coach has that confidence in us. We have guys just as fast as Devon, so it's crazy how fast he is. You blink and he's 15 yards down the field. It's insane. But just kind of having that trust, I think it really means a lot to the O-line, and that's kind of got our confidence up going into the week.
Stay on the left side, third row to Cease.
A couple things. What about the low snaps? Seemed you had some low snaps
Yeah.
Saturday.
Yeah, I don't really know what that was. I mean, they came out of my hand all right. I remember one in the first half. We were trying to run like a naked bootleg, I believe, and it's a hard reach block for me, having like a shade on it. I was kind of alone on it, and it felt all right coming out of my hand, but it was just a few mess ups. I mean, I was pretty low during the week at practice, so I was gonna make sure during practice that all my snaps are perfect.
And the second thing, it would be tough for you right now to do a hurry-up offense. You mentioned about getting back in shape.
No, I don't think so. I mean, in the games, I mean, you're on the field for 8 to 12 plays max, and you almost get like a 10-minute break after that. I mean, with the TV timeouts and everything, you get plenty of rest. And, the trainers are on the sideline getting me anything I need, whether it be like Gatorade, water, any snacks that I need or anything like that, just to keep my energy up.
We'll go back behind the lights on the right side to Justin and then Tyler.
Bryce, good to get to talk to you today. Put on Twitter that, you apologize for the snaps. You seem like a great guy. Why'd you feel the need to do that?
I want to be one of the greatest to come through here, especially at center. I mean, you have like Eric McCoy. He was a great center that came through here. I want to be in the talks of him and be in the greatness of stuff like him. I didn't see him have that many low snaps. So, it's just like taking responsibility for things that should have been right. I mean, we left a lot of points on the board. Later in the game, on the pass, I had to get reviewed for Devon on the sideline. He hit a one-on-one matchup with a linebacker, and you know how fast he is, and that could have easily been a touchdown, but it was due to a low snap. He wasn't really able to get a handle of it. So I just gotta be better.
And scoring 17 points on offense the last couple of weeks, obviously got the defensive touchdown, but you feel like team can keep winning with you only scoring 17? You feel like you guys need to hold up your end of the bargain a little bit better?
Yeah, I mean, everyone has to get better, Defense can obviously be better. Offense can be better. Special teams can be better. Everyone can be better at something. I think going down the road, especially this week in Mississippi State, they can put up some points in that spread offense. I think that we definitely need to put up a lot of points this week. I trust in my defense. I think they can do very well this week, but I think the offense definitely needs to hold up to their end of the bargain.
We'll stay behind the lights on the left side to Tyler.
Hey, Bryce, are you surprised at all with the way the offense has been in the early season? Maybe a little bit slower, and then especially with the offensive line. I know you talked about the camaraderie, but what do you feel like is key to getting all together on the right track and improving?
I mean, we're young. I think that our receiver core is pretty old, so a lot of leadership's coming from them, and just like Anais as well. He has a lot of leadership in this role. But I think a lot of the O-line speaking wise, where a lot of us are, I guess, new. I think I had the most starts coming into this year, and I played 1 year, and I've been here for 1 year. So I think we're just really young. I think we just needed some time to kind of merge a little bit better. We haven't had too much time together, and at the same time, you have a brand new starting quarterback with Haynes. He played 1 or 2 games last year, then came and played only 1 or 2 games this year. And so, I mean, we're all just like fresh. So, I mean, it's kind of expected to kind of be a little slow at first. But I think we're going to start getting things kick-started this week, hopefully. It's the goal.
We'll go front row on the right to Travis.
Hey, Bryce, with last year you came in, moved to center for the first time. This year you have a season under your belt, like you said. What things did you feel like came natural coming into this year after a year, and what do you feel like you still are developing on or still have to work on?
I think confidence-wise, going into a game and knowing defenses. I mean, last year everything looked brand new to me when looking at like a 3-4 front or like a 3-3. All the defenses were just like kind of crazy and eye-boggling to me. So it's kind of hard to make IDs and feel confident with those IDs. But this year, I mean, I know what I know. I've played against these guys before. I've seen all these defenses before, and so I think that's probably the biggest thing that's come the easiest. It's really able to make me play faster. I'm able to make corrections on the fly. Like if I'm pulling around and somebody picks up the guy they're not supposed to, I know who their guy is already, so I can pick up who they were supposed to pick up to begin with. So it's just kind of like that kind of stuff. It's making me play with more confidence.
And what's it been like so far working with Coach Adazio?
Man, he is a fireball. I mean, he's been on your butt at practice during individual drill. I mean, I think I saw a Twitter post where he had us doing up downs because our energy wasn't right, and I love that. I think he's definitely trying to get us in the right direction, trying to change that culture, trying to get us to knock people off the ball and go through people instead of just get hats on hats, which I really love. And yeah.
We'll stay front row on the right to Brent, and then Zach on the left.
Just to follow it, make sure we get this right. How old were you when you visited Kyle Field, to where you were taking in the bright lights and everything?
Let's see, what was that?
So it was when Braden played, obviously, right?
Yeah, right. So I think that was like 2013. So what is that, like 8 years ago?
Yeah,
So
something like
probably 10, 12, probably around that age. Yeah.
Do you remember asking Braden about it at that time, and then later on for advice as well in terms of A&M?
No, I mean, I didn't really think about playing I wanted to play college football, but I never thought I'd be at the point where I'm at now. He was a scout team guy that went against Myles Garrett all the time. And so he told me stories all about that, which is really cool. So he always tells me that he's the reason why Myles was so good in college. But yeah, he just said how much he liked it here. He told me it was a grind when he got here, but the relationships that he made with the players and everyone like that was really well. And so that kind of got me intrigued.
We'll go front row on the left to Zach.
Bryce, talking about relationships, what's your relationship like with Max, and does it change anything when you have a left-handed quarterback in there? I know that obviously with Blake Bose last year coming in and stuff, but as far as what you go through, what your mentality is, does that change at all?
No, nothing really changes. Quarterback's a quarterback. He's going to try to lead the team to win the game. He's going to control the field. He's going to be the commander. I'm the commander-in-chief. He has a lot of confidence. He brings, at LSU, those guys are feisty over there in Baton Rouge. So that confidence and that kind of attitude that he brought in has really helped the O-line and just everybody in general. I think he's a great leader.
Anything else? All right. Thank you, Bryce.
Right.